Receiving your content. You are live. Hi, my name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Today I feel pretty good. I feel pretty hopeful. Keep hearing all these talks about the well, what are they about? Because I got it all mixed up in my head. And then someone else I listened to this morning got it mixed up in their head, so now it's extra mixed up. I was just listening to Getting Your Mojo Back. New Moon in Leo. Wonder Girl Astrology. I spend a lot of times listening to talks on astrology. I'll just put my listening device in my pocket and I'll just go around, do my chores, go on through life and listen to stuff. Oh, Saturn's in this, Pluto's there, Venus is what? It's just all potential energy. They're just talking about how people can and likely do feel. It's what people do with those emotions. That's what that collectively makes the main stage. Are people resolving their pains? Are they getting past their pains? Or they continue to make life choices to live in those pains every single day? When people live in hurt, it makes it hard for everybody around them. Nobody likes to be around people when you're in a bad mood. When someone always has a headache, don't call them. They're just probably have another headache again. They're probably not going to go, and if they go, they're just going to talk about how they have a headache or they don't feel good or blah blah. You know, it's the it's the low vibe. You know, but people should be able to talk about how they feel. People shouldn't have to, guard themselves and act a certain kind of way because they're worried that this person or that person isn't going to receive them. You know. People are going to start waking up. It's the Great American Awakening. It's the Great Awakening started back in 2018, 17 with the eclipse. That's what eclipses are for, to get people to see things like they never saw them before. And so now that people are waking up, oh, this ain't true, that ain't true. They always said it was like this, it ain't like that. They always said it was like this, it ain't like that. I've been paying attention to people's behavior since I was a little girl. I've always just known I was a spirit having a human experience, and these humans are freaking weird, and they do weird stuff. They treat each other real weird, and they like chasing sensations, and they like feeling things like physically, and making people feel things physically, oftentimes painful, sick, twisted, weird things. And then they shroud themselves in things like, well, I'm a doctor, I'm certified. Or I'm a politician, we're going to endorse this study. And all this weird stuff. And they just, they aren't doing much more than taking stuff out from under a kitchen sink, putting it together and say, here, let's see if Mikey will like it. You try it. He'll eat anything. It's all crazy mad science, and they let the regulations go because they started putting the regulations in the wrong places. The control freaks did. They started telling people more, no, you can't, and they started like signaling people out and stuff like that. All this stuff is coming out, man. Look at all the truths that are coming out. Look at all the people that are figuring out who people really are, good, bad, or indifferent. I've been going through pictures a lot lately because I've been moving, and so I'm trying to get the stuff that's upstairs downstairs, so I don't got to go up and clean it all up, so I don't got to go up there no more. And I found a lot of pictures. These are just a few. Let me just show you a few of these photos that I found, because I've always taken pictures. Hi, Benny. Sorry, Benny. Didn't mean to bother you, Benny. Always taking pictures. So before digital, there's film pictures. There's actual pictures. And I used to grow up watching Columbo and all those police shows, right? So I got all these pictures. And these aren't even all of it. This might be half of them, I don't know. Might be half. So I got all these pictures. I've been going through them. And all these pictures are taken from all over the place. So when I was in basic training, when I was in tech school, I'm trying to show you all my pictures, all the pictures I got. When I was in Greece for Operation Iraqi Bullshit, got a lot of pictures there too. Look at all my pictures I got. You see all these? All these pictures of my life and my account of things that I've witnessed. And a lot of stuff that I've witnessed in my life and the things that I've had happen to me personally are things that just don't happen. They just, no, that doesn't happen. Grown men don't have sex with babies. That doesn't happen. No, that doesn't happen. No, fat men in the military don't pick on other people and tell them to go to the gym and kick them out if they don't like them while they freaking make their, it's just all a bros club, and it's all coming out. I got all the pictures. I got receipts. Pictures from when I went to Alaska a couple times for looking glass shit, it's just how much money the government wastes just to freaking, when somebody could have done it there, But it's a vacation. It's a trip. It's people get to move around and see wonderful places, and this is the karma. This is why I speak my truth now, because I'm trying to live a better life. And 6 years, I signed my name away. I sold my soul because I did things I didn't believe in. I didn't. Well, I didn't think that I would have to do things. I thought that it was just going to be cool. There ain't nothing. There ain't no cause for war no more. Military, there's nobody's freaking poking bears anymore. It's 2000. That's what I thought when I went in. I need a college degree. I'm going to have to take care of mom one day. So I don't want a bunch of student debt. So how can, military will pay for your education. All right, sign me up. So I go in, and then baby Bush. So we need to make money, so let's think of a stupid plan that we can do that America think that we're under attack, and we'll just bomb ourselves and blow ourselves up and take out 3,000 of our own Americans, and then we'll just blame it on Iraq and say that they did it. And they'll buy it because, Americans will buy anything. Look at all the stuff. Then they'll send it over to China so China can make it, and then they'll buy it for 3 times as much. Those crazy Americans, they'll just buy whatever you just tell them whatever you want. So that happens. And these I got quiet because I got actual pictures of the Oklahoma bombing, and other truth speakers like me know what that was all about truly too. And I got it all. It's all here from my account. Hazing? No, that doesn't happen in the military. Good old Pat. He's such a good sport, and they tie people down and put you in the wash rack and soak you if they really don't like you, or if someone's coming up that is leaving the shop and if they don't like you, or if they really do like you, who knows? It doesn't matter. You can't ever really tell. They'll save stuff, put it in the fridge. Condiments, let condiments rot and stuff like that, and then freaking your last day, bye. They didn't do that to me. No, when I left, there wasn't much fanfare. There's a luncheon. We went to Moe's. We went to Moe's for my last lunch, and that was about it. It was kind of a quiet thing. But I've never been one of those that when people leave, they're just always just like, just go. Good riddance. People don't like me very much. They never really have. It's because I speak truth, and people that don't live in truth, well, I'm not really a welcome commodity. I was talking to Mom this morning. I was like, how you always just figure out about how people are. We are who we are at birth, and we just grow more into that, or more into ego, or more into spirit. And I was thinking this morning about how many lessons when I was eating breakfast. This is what happened. When we were eating breakfast, I made some scrambled eggs, and I put some summer squash and broccoli and asparagus in it. I was like, Mom, I'm going to do rice and vegetables for dinner. And I'm like, I don't want to wait for dinner. So I added it to incorporate it with breakfast and the eggs and stuff. And I made a couple of those frozen hash browns. One for Mom, one for me. And I started eating, and I was telling her a story this morning, and I was getting all worked up. I was getting really upset about the story I can't even remember what the story was. I just remember, what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing about from other. It's not looking good. Things are looking unfavorable for the old USA the next few months. So. Or the people that are collecting karma in it anyway. Maybe not the state. Anyway. So, Mom was eating her breakfast, and I'm getting worked up, and before I know it, I pick up the bowl, and I'm like shoveling food into my mouth, like the hash browns. And I was like, holy cow. I put the food down, and Mom's just kind of looking at me because we eat out of the same bowl. Because I don't have much. I'll eat a couple. I'll make a lot of breakfast, and I'll take a couple bites, put it in a tortilla, because I don't eat as much as she does. Because I get a lot of time with my son. I get a lot of my energy, a lot of my vitamins, a lot of my source from just direct sunlight. So I don't get as much. It's photosynthesis. I don't need as much food. Plus, a lot of it hurts my stomach anyway, because that's where I carry my stress. So, and everything sours and spoils. I mean, I can eat something good and then be around some no vibrational being, and it just sours in my stomach, and I'm just like, it's my fault. Anyway, so I said, and I realized what I was doing. I said, Mom, you realize what I was doing? I said, you just see me right now? I said, let me put the food back down. Let me let you finish your breakfast. I'm going to go outside, because what I was doing is I was getting worked up. So I went to the food for comfort, and I was shoveling in the carbs, the starch. I don't eat a lot of potatoes and stuff like that. I eat a lot of vegetables, not potatoes. So I was like, oh, but I was going right to the comfort food, right for all the food that every time I've eaten hash browns, it was like a good thing, you know. It's never been. I don't eat hash browns after a funeral, so it's all attached to positive vibes. And so when I was thinking about how I did that, and I said, what I'm going to do is, I'm worked up right now, and I'm upset. My vibe is high. But I'm not angry, and I'm not mad. I'm just worked up. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go outside for a few minutes and channel the energy while you finish your breakfast. Because that is how you reprogram yourself. Because I didn't sit in the just to keep eating comfort food. I realized what I was doing. You know, I didn't realize what I was doing for a second. And then I was like, what the frick? I'm standing there like shoveling food in, talking, telling Mom, you know, and I'm just like, I took over. So there we got gluttony, we got greed, that's what happens when ego kicks in. When I start feeling like, you know, when I become less of a spectator in my world. When I become more of an active participant and less of a spectator. That's what happens. Tucker's little leg is back there, bopping around. He's laying there this way. I love that dog. They're so rad. So, and food, I was thinking, food, you learn a lot of people. Or I've learned a lot of life lessons, and I've learned a lot about people from just food, being around food, how people eat. I'm a grubber, man. I'm a slob. I'm freaking food in my face, food all over. Food is an eating experience as far as I love food. So, anyway, calm down, Turbo. That's why I've always had problems with, because I ate my feelings, and then I drank my feelings. That's what was worse, is I drank my feelings. That's what's worse. That's when your spirit totally goes. You do really weird shit. All that stuff. I never do that in my life. Yeah, you put a drink in you, all that stuff goes. That list goes away. So I was thinking about, I was telling stories about, I said, yeah, Mom, we didn't like going down to see Dad much when he was married to Christy. She was our step monster. She was an evil bitch. She really was. She was like 20, she was the dumb bitch. She worked at freaking Del Taco. She was like the blonde bombshell, 22-year-old bimbo. My dad was 30, over 30. It was his next whatever. So he married her. He needed, she was a pretty young thing, so he married her, and we'd have to go spend freaking hours on a bus to go down and visit her, and she didn't treat us very good. She would do things like, because I hated, and I don't like when people like do things that make people act away to see how they respond. Like, I have a really sensitive palate, and I hated liver when I was a little girl. I knew what it was. I hated it. It tasted gross. It was like I could taste the fear and their poison, and it's not good in my mouth. And so they thought it was funny. And I wouldn't eat it. Well, if you're not going to eat it, you can just sit there. And I remember sitting there late, I'll sit here. I'm not going to eat it, and that's the thing, is people have always tried to break my will, and then they'd finally be like, they see that they can't, and then they'd get mad at me extra, and then I'd get extra punished, So she made liver and onions this one time, And I would, and then the next day she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you guys are good kids. You're here visiting, stuff like that. Probably shouldn't be, so hard on you. Here's a milkshake to freaking make up for it." And then, oh wow, maybe she's not as evil as we thought. Maybe there's really goodness to this woman that I didn't see, and all this stuff, right? And then, maybe, Dad sees something in her that we don't, and there's a reason why he loves her and all that stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And that I thought about when I was a little girl. And then get to the bottom of the milkshake, and she had blended up the liver and put it in the milkshake. It's just stuff like that. He'd go to work, she'd lock us out. Freaking 8 o'clock in the morning, we drank out of the hose. And it gets, and it's hot. That's how you learn not, you got to let it run for a while. Because if you put your face right up to the water, right when you turn it on, you will burn your face. You can, I've seen people burn their lips because they go to take a big old frickin', and it's the water sits in the hose and it gets hot. And so people freaking get a face full of hot water. Accidents happen. It's how kids get hurt. So she used to lock us out. And then, and it's like you could never stick up for yourself. I've been around these people my whole entire life that behave like that treat people like that. They think it's funny, And then I'm just the one that's like, that's not funny, man. That's mean. And I speak out about it. And because I speak out of it, I've always gotten in trouble. I'm an authority magnet, man. Because I just truck out. I'm like, that's just not nice. And look at all the people that do shit in life that's just not nice because, well, money matters more than people. And if it wasn't true, people wouldn't say things like, it's nothing personable, it's just business. It's nothing personal, it's just business. I saw that homeboy did that talk on Sharon Stone this morning. She's all pissed off because somebody that didn't wear a mask made her unhealthy sister sick. And I was just like, oh, you showed everyone your vagina and made money from showing everyone your vagina. So maybe their unhealthiness is your bad karma and your feelings attached to it for you showing your hoo-ha to the whole world. You sold out. You sold your soul. When do people say, no, I'm not going to do that for money? When does the accountability come for that? No, I'm not going to sell these people out. No, I'm not going to sell myself out. No, I'm not going to work with you because even if you give me $1 million because of the company, of all the dastardly things that you have done with your company. And that you don't treat your, I haven't bought from Amazon in 2 years. And yet all these spiritual practitioners, I got a new book out, I'm selling it at Amazon. They're part of the fucking problem, but hey, as long as you benefit from it, right? Hey, as long as you benefit from, as long as I benefit from something, I'll speak for it, but I haven't found all the shit that I get to benefit for in life. I haven't. I sent some old bros some freaking, some pictures of our time in Greece. Yeah, sent Jack a picture of our time in Greece. I was like, yeah, I'm going back to Reading. Maybe I'll run into Monahan because he was there too. Oh, Matt, last time I saw Monahan was 3 years ago. He's in a really good place. Oh, really? Because the last time I saw him, it was a video on Facebook. He was half drunk, had a kid on his lap, driving a boat on Shasta Lake. It didn't really seem like he was in a good place to me. And I was like, yeah, I said, you people, you have kids, you guys, you have kids, you first start out, you're so scared, I don't know what I'm to do with this, keeping this living thing alive, I don't know how to do it, but you have your families, you have your freaking community to all come in and help you and babysit and get a night off so you guys can go and hang out in the strip in Vegas and all this, freaking bro club bullshit, right? But people like me, that's what I told them. I said, but they don't give you help when you got a parent. They don't help you with parents. Nobody helps, it's like, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Marge, you're going through a rough patch. Motherfucker, I haven't had running water in 3 years. What happened to all that never leave an airman shit behind? I never bought into that shit. Never leave an airman behind. It's all fucking crack, man. It's all crap. It's who you know. It's what you know. It's if you're gonna suck who and what you know's dick. That's what happens when you get really high up top. Or in an hierarchical place where people are, more than one person is in a position of authority. Us regular people, we don't live like that because we're just, we're just trying to live our lives and trying to get by and stuff like that. And you know what, this kid that was talking like this, you know, he's just another freaking white boy from Chicago. They are all the fucking same. They're all the same. I know another one. He has my movie. He never gave it back. He moved across the country to Massachusetts to open a dispensary from Diem here. I don't go to that dispensary anymore because people like that run the place. See what I mean? Money is energy, and not a lot of people have a lot of money. So what they put their money toward, it really counts for what people believe in. You know, and then you have these greedy motherfuckers made this whole political system. Lobbyists? What the lobbyists? If that isn't a crock of shit, that isn't a crock pot of crap. Lobbyists? Nothing insidious ever happens there. You know? I mean, Clinton. Oh girl, frickin' she's gonna go. I hope they haul her out in handcuffs at the hearing. Hillary? Oh my God. She would definitely be on suicide watch. There's plenty of people incarcerated that would love to be the one to take her life. Because you reap what you sow, and that woman has caused so much. She just oozes evil. She does, because, you know, people can help people. People can help people, but people that shroud themselves behind good, genuine intentions, when all that they want to do is cause harm to other people because it makes them feel good. You know what about the food thing? You know what else about food? You can also tell a lot about people, how they treat people that bring you their food. I was in food service. One of the first longest job, 3.5 years I had before I got unjustifiably fired because it wasn't in the policy, but it was just who was in charge and how they felt that day that made an example out of me, because that's how it's always been. Rules, regulations, policies, it's all shit, because the people that write them and make them up don't fucking follow them. They have their own rules and regulations and policies, and all those really are take all the people's money so we can do whatever we want. But don't tell them, because they might uprise and get really pissed. Well, the new moon in Leo, if you've done the work, it's going to be in your favor. If you haven't done, it's like every other, it's all the time, every day. If you wake up and you've done your work, today is going to be in your favor. If you wake up and you haven't done the work, today is not going to be in your favor. I'm going to have to put off my meditate state for later, because I have some errands to do, and, well, I chose to have a nice leisurely morning instead, and I'm not mad about it. I just didn't get up and go. I just gave myself permission to allow, instead of doing it how I've done it every other Monday for the last 52 Mondays. Half that, because it's every other Monday I have to do. But I get to go to the taco truck today. So pay attention to how people act around food, you know. I like to give, like the best bite. You know what the best bite is. You know what the best bite is. You know what the best bite on your food plate is. I like to give that to other people. Yeah. Because it all tastes the same. But that best bite, put it all together and give to someone else and let them, because you know what it is without tasting it. So if you know what it is without tasting it, why wouldn't you share that and want somebody else to feel that and experience that and live in that vibe that can't imagine, you know? So I love food. I'm going to be thinking a lot about, yeah, I get to go to taco because he moved farther, so I don't get to see him as much, but I just actually took some rosemary off because my plant died. I would have had to plead, because to keep it alive, I'd have to freaking get more. It just was, so I took all the rosemary off, and I already planned for a roast that I haven't met yet in the future, probably in the next year, that I put the rosemary in a plastic bag special so I can make this roast that I haven't met yet. You know, it's all about plant medicine. I'm so excited about plant medicine. Yeah, I use a lot of seasoning. I'm going to be one of those old witchy seasoning ladies that uses my shit for light, you know. I'll heal people with my food. I do it with my can of cookies. My can of cookies, man, they're freaking transcendental. That's one of the reasons, because I woke up and I was like, so I ate a cookie at freaking 6 o'clock. 6:30. And day just goes by fast. And I was just hanging out with Mom, enjoying my morning, being chill, and not wanting to go out. There's no hurry to go out and rush. Because that's all my old programming, and I can see where my old programming is coming up today. So, I'll probably be posting some stuff here. I got so many. From Greece. My time in Greece. Just thousands. This is from this is the view from the sun. That's where they put up the bros. That's the sun. That's where your husbands go. A lot of your military. That's where your husbands would go to cheat on you. See, because what goes on TDY stays on TDY. That is the military culture. That's where I got to stay. They just redone this pool. It's an affinity pool. If you go look at the panorama. She's the news commentator. She didn't speak English, but I woke up with her every morning and I got ready. That was a little racetrack that was right next door. Over here, that's all Greece and shit. That's all. When you look at Greece from the other side, that's the other side of the island. I got the Greece spot. Thank you, Uncle Sam. See, because Americans, regular people, you got to pay thousands of dollars for experiences like this. All I had to do is sell my soul for 6 years. I made that toolbox. If you open all the drawers, all the styrofoam, and all the tools that fit nicely in each groove. Yeah. Hi, kitty, Mama Kitty, April. That's what my trip to Greece funded, is for me renting a car so my mom could drive my dog Arthur. He's the reason why I enlisted into the Air Force, because I knew one day he and Mom were going to get old and that I was going to need to take care of him. Well, he passed away, but I still got to take care of Mom. I took pictures of all of the staff because I made friends. That was when I went to Georgia, when I was a slime ball credit card vendor, because my brother told me I had to get a job. So I went and worked with his practice wife. Dogs in Greece. There's pictures mixed up. I got to go to Alaska a couple times too. We got to go walk around, look at the monastery. See, this is the stuff that John Levi talks about on his page that I was wondering about too. Is that how come with all this, it's the alien technology, it's the space technology, because they don't make stuff like this. They can't. The shit that humans make today, it's just all junk. It's all junk. What happened to the freaking architecture, the marvels of the Earth civilizations that have been hidden and covered up, Like, who do you think built the pillars in the museum in San Francisco? Those things are for giants. Those aren't for regular sized people. I mean, the stuff that people have just looked at. Did you get your election sticker? Did you see the alien and the UFO? You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like there's all these different people having different perceptions of the reality of this planet, and they're finding out that they've been purging our freaking, not only our blood, sweat, and tears, but all of our resources into their system. That's just gross. It's just gross. And they've been doing it for so long. for hundreds of years, and the gig is up. The jig is up. There was a little gecko that fell off that I kept. I named him Gorky the gecko. It fell off one of the stands. Oh, here's Brighton. Here's hazing that doesn't happen. They tied him to a freaking... They duct tape him. This is so... Yeah, duct tape. I could use some now. You know, but they just piss this shit away. Because it's fun. They tied him to this, and they brought him into the wash rack, and then they freaking doused him. They liked him, so they just only dumped cold buckets of cold water on him. That's all he got. If they didn't like him, they would have put freaking food and shit all over him. Nasty stuff. That's all that, bro. That's why I only did 6 years. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe. But I got all these pictures, though. Yeah, because I saw how they treated, you know, they talked to women. I'm like, aren't you married? You going? What are you talking to them for? Oop, no, you don't want to put no people on there. Just keep the people off. This is when I saw a semi. It was being towed, but I thought it looked cool. Looked like it was coming right at me. It wasn't. This is the hotel I got to stay in. That's the panorama. Go look at that on Facebook. My room was right there. Some linguist bitch. She was a linguist. I haven't known many, but she was one I met. I haven't known many, but she was one that I met. She was a tech sergeant from like a reserve base down in Arizona or some shit. So she was coming in to see what, you know, listen to the people, you know, in Iraq go, please don't hurt us. I want to live with my family, you know, translating all that stuff. She was one of those. She comes in at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd been working, you know, 14, 16-hour days. She comes in 2 o'clock. And she got there early, but see, she hooked up with a young lieutenant. You know, you're not supposed to do that either, but that's what they do all this shit. That's what they do. It's just a freaking gross, freaking seedy. It's a, you know, it's all nasty. So, so she had, came in at like 2 and then like got in the shower. And I'd left my ID on base. And so my chief from Offutt just happened to be there, or he was flying in, so he was on base and he was staying up. So he brought me, so he knocked on the door. And I opened it, and he's like, Airman Hessick, what are you doing up? I'm like, this lady just came in, man, and I don't know. She just got here, and I got to be, and he's like, all right. He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, okay. He's just like, thanks for letting me know, right? And so she wasn't even on duty yet. She was just there. She wasn't flying a mission. She was just there. She was so, right, now she's on paid vacation right now. I had to be at work at 5, right? Working the flight line to support this mission, okay? So she gets out of the shower, I go to bed, you know. 5 days, she wasn't flying any missions. On day 6, I'm doing my regular thing, right? I'm a slick sleeve, airman basic. I got no rank. But I'm probably older than her by 5 years, and I have manners. So I get up, and when I turn on the TV, I turn it all the way down. So I just have the light of the TV and not even the lamp. No volume, just the light of the TV. You know? Go in, get ready. I'm quiet. I'm respectful. I go to work. Some fucking asshole meathead, probably some dude that she's been hanging out with the last 5 days in the bar while I've been sleeping to go to work, comes yelling at, where's Airman Hessick? Gets in my face, you know, because she's on sleep duty, like required sleep duty because she's up for a mission. Woman hasn't communicated shit with me since she's been there, but she's up for a mission, so I interrupted her sleep hours. Gets it, and I was just like to the supervisor, Phil, I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? But because my flight chief had given me my ID and explained to her, I'm like, that he already knew what kind of woman she was, and I'm sure that he's seen her freaking hoeing around the bars in the Panorama Hotel. So, I mean, knowing me and then seeing her behavior, who's the asshole? But with the Swinging Dicks Club, the penis pockets get protected too, just as much as the people that are trying to put it someplace. This is how the world really is. This is how immature and gross and stupid I found that the world really is. And that's why I could only stand to fucking do 6 years in the United States Air Force. Because it was never standards. It was never rules, and I was looking for consistency my whole life because I yearned for it, because of the traumatic events and experiences that I had in my youth. That I went into the military to say, maybe because there's structure and that everyone will all be treated the same. And when I went to the top, to the biggest, greatest, most wonderfulest organization in the world, and saw that it was just another corporation to make money, I become very disheartened. And that is one of the reasons why I do these videos. And guess who? But of course all the bros that left me behind, they're still doing it. Of course all the bros that benefited from it, they still benefit. 20 years later, they're just now retiring. Because they benefited from it. But I think about all the people that didn't get the same benefits. You know, one guy, I mean, he's the nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy. Has 3 kids. One of his kids had seizures. He's on the spectrum. Had all kinds of health problems. It's unfortunate to watch. The grace that he was being given in his life is that he was a military member, so he never got to see a medical bill for that. See, because when you're in the military, you don't get doctor bills. You don't get a bill from a knee replacement. You don't get a bill. What the American people get is a triple-digit trillion-dollar budget. Because when military members move, they move a lot less now. But they used to move like every 2-3 years. They didn't pack up their own shit. The higher the rank you get. If you're enlisted, yeah, you got to pack up your own shit. But still, a truck will come and load it and then haul it off for you. Or maybe you even have to load it if you're enlisted. But at least they'll drive it across country. Or even ship it across. I know a lady worked in she was a life mentor of mine. Right before the earth blew up, I think she had an inkling that she knew. Because she got orders to go over to live in Germany. So she jumped ship on her whole country, the one that put all that money in her pocket to do all the stuff she gets to do. Now she lives in Germany on the taxpayers' money. For why? What's your job? What do you do that's so important? Walk around and take pictures? That's what they do. They pay themselves, they set themselves up, they give themselves these elaborate lifestyles, and they say it's for our own good. And that's what people are finding out. It's fuck you. It's not for our own good. Share your shit. All the companies just based in blood money. My shirt was made from an embroidery company in the Midwest that was funded by GA. Retired lieutenant colonel, I believe. And then he retired from the Pentagon. So he got to double dip. That's 2 pensions from the government. That's a lot of fucking money. Then they travel around. So if a lot of the officers, you go to this base, you buy a house, then you put it up for rent, and then you go to this base, you buy a house, you put it up for rent or give it to the management company or whatever. Before you know it, all these there's monopolies all over. It's because all these weird, lonely guys played fucking Monopoly when they were kids, played chess, watched The Godfather, were too weird to have relationships with people, so created a world in their minds, and then grew up, and then this is the world we get. All the while they're spreading their seed, because it's just what men do. Anyway, I think that's about all I got for now. Like I said, I got errands to do. People are finding out, Hey, there are plenty. I'm gonna end it up on this positive note. There are plenty. There's 49%, at least 49%, balanced human beings in this earth that have just trying to get by and do good and take care of their family. Like 49%. The unfortunate part is there's 51% of the greedy but if every individual, If every single human being, because I had 51% more greed in me too, until about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, until I started living my life more in a collective way for me, not just for me, but for mom, me, dogs, cat, world, source, spirit, positivity. The thing of it is I can get dipped low too. I can dip low. That's why I try to keep my vibe so high. I try to keep it high. It's hard. When all you see is when everywhere it's just like, I'm not gonna look, no vibrational. Keep an eye out for the high vibers. They got to be there somewhere. Keep your eye out for the high vibers. I can't watch people just freaking suffer. I can't watch people that struggle and hurt. I know I've seen a lot of people that can't watch people and then they just ignore it. I can't ignore it. I got to try and do stuff about it. So what I do is I meditate at least an hour a day. It's my spiritual part of my spiritual practice to keep me tuned with the source that's outside of myself, that's bigger than myself, that I can plug into, that I know that I am not in control. It's the people that think that they're in control of the ship right now, man. They're having a really hard time. And I don't want to have to deal with their fucking hard time. Because I've had my hard time, and I've had to soothe myself, and I've had to ease my own woes, and I've had to get through my pain. I've had to do the work. Now other people get to too. It's hard to watch, but it's necessary. It's got to change, man. What is it he said? Growth happens through pain or some shit like that. Yeah. People that have no idea the struggles that human beings go through because of their advantages in life, just because of their positions that just because of who they're fucking related to in birth. Oh, you're going to find out that life isn't so fair. You're going to find out what all of the rest of us has known for so long, but because you had your position, because you had your powers, and it might not even be directly, it could be something else. People lose things. People lose things near and dear to them all the time. I for 6 years I watched people. It was just a vicious cycle. It's like they train. It's like you take people from less than good situations like me, but I went to college, so there was a reason. I didn't go into the military to buy freaking big stupid trucks every 2 years. I didn't go in the military to buy boats. I didn't go in the military to buy those all-terrain vehicles and just guns and just all that stuff that when I die, I can't take with me. But the military is set, so it draws people that do that, so it feeds the system. And the same people that I was in with 6 years ago are still doing the same stuff. Still got the new trucks. Still got, still doing all the same. Still going to the same places. Still do, Some of them adventure out. I worked with probably 55 people in the shop, and how many do you think got college degrees out of that? Maybe 5? 6 maybe? A lot of them still just doing their jobs. And what is the military? I know what it used to be, but I know what it evolved to. And when I did my time, it was pageantry. It was a game of bells and whistles where essentially we shit on our own country. The administration did. Killed our own people. It's the reality of the situation. It's true reality, and you can put synonyms on it, whatever you want, but the vibration of truth has a frequency, and that truth is ringing. Freedom has a frequency, Let freedom ring as the bell cracks. Dude, that is a seriously karmic thing. If that doesn't tell you what Philly's all about, the vibrational dissonance of that